Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. Number one, I want to thank you guys again, just like I did in my previous video for FNAF. Thank you for all the support the last couple of days. It really made me understand more about audience reception and what you guys actually want, so I hope I can continue to make videos like this that will hopefully be something that you really enjoy and will be recommendations for things maybe you haven't seen, maybe something I can, turn your interest towards and maybe get you to check something out. This is a new review for a movie that I kind of went back and forth on whether I wanted to put it as part of this segment, this playlist on my channel called Hidden Horrors, but as you can tell from the title, I decided to go ahead and do it. Despite this movie having a massive following and a massive reputation, basically, I still feel like too many people don't know what this movie is, and too many people need to know what it is, in my opinion. It is just so damn good, in my opinion. It's the movie that got me into found footage films, despite seeing Blair Witch Project when I was a teenager and was not impressed. I need to rewatch that. It's been like 10 years since I've seen it. Never been a Blair Witch guy. So found footage always kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because the biggest examples ever back in the day were that Last Broadcast, which I've seen once, and that was what I saw in the midst of being a massive found footage film fan way after seeing this movie, and Paranormal Activity, which I also hated. Until number 3. This movie here, if you have not seen it, you need to see it, and if you're a horror fan, this movie's going to stick with you the rest of your life. You need to see it. It has some iconic, terrifying imagery in it, and a concept that I think is excellent. This little movie here is a 2014 film, now 10 years old, called The Taking of Deborah Logan. I showed this yesterday in my movie horror haul, or horror movie haul, number 3, and I gotta tell you, I love this film. I've now seen it probably 6 or 7 times. I watched it all the time on streaming, and this year I got some money for Christmas about a month ago, and I decided to buy a bunch of stuff with that money for Amazon gift cards. And I picked up this for like 10 bucks or 12 bucks or something like that. I'm a die-hard defender and fanatic of this movie. I think it is so great. Everyone I've ever shown this movie to loved it. My wife loved it, who's not a horror fan, who's terrified of found footage and horror movies in general. She loved it. My mom, who is a hardcore horror fan, who hates found footage, watched it, and she was into it and loved it. To this day, my mom will say this is the only found footage movie she's ever liked. And I've seen a billion of them, man. After this movie really it made my interest skyrocket. I've watched a bunch of really shitty found footage movies and some really, really good ones too. But this takes the cake as possibly the best one I've ever seen personally. That's just me. This is a movie about a documentary crew who are going in to film a lady named Deborah Logan after her daughter gives this crew permission because they need the money to save their house. Basically, this older woman has Alzheimer's or dementia, and she only has a little bit of time left to live, and they're filming her last days to try to, I guess it's like a medical documentary, I think is what they were saying. Now, you could say this is a mockumentary movie, but it is more traditional in the documentary found footage style of movie making than something like Lake Mungo, or Lake Mungo, however you pronounce that title. Taking of Deborah Logan scares the shit out of me, because this woman may or may not be suffering from dementia/Alzheimer's. It may be something worse, and we kind of get this idea by the title alone that it could be some kind of demonic possession of some sort. Now, hear me out. Don't turn off the video. I've seen a billion of those movies too. Linear storytelling, found footage storytelling, whatever. Not a big fan of possession horror films, but this is one of those ones, like The Exorcist, that has stuck with me my entire life since I saw it about 5 or 6 years ago, and I've loved it ever since. I think it is a massive, massive underappreciated gem that is terrifying, whether it be in the subgenre of possible possession horror or haunting movies or found footage movies in general. I think just in general, if this movie had gotten a theatrical release, I think more people would know about it and more people would be talking about it rather than something like Chernobyl Diaries, which was solid. I don't hate Chernobyl Diaries, but it's not as good as this. Not even close, not even in the same ballpark. Did you know Jesse McCartney was in that? I didn't. Anyway, Taking of Deborah Logan, I like everybody in the cast and crew. I think obviously the most standout performance is the older woman who plays Deborah Logan named Jill Larson, who was on a lot of soap operas and stuff. I don't know how the hell they got in touch with this woman, got her to read their script, because she is incredible. She gives one of the best horror performances I've ever seen in my life. I don't care what you have to say about like Nick Castle playing Michael Myers or Kane Hodder playing Jason Voorhees. This is on par with somebody like Freddy Krueger and Robert Englund. This is the kind of thing that I will never hear the title, The Taking of Deborah Logan, and not think of Joe Larson. She is amazing in this film. She is the star of the movie, and she is shockingly terrifying. Now, this is one of those movies, too, a lot of people compare it to, like, The Visit by M. Night Shyamalan. And I understand why. Old people are terrifying, personally. I really think they are. I love them. I learn a lot from those people, especially at my job. But this woman, this is one of those cases like The Visit, which I'm also a big fan of, that shocked the hell out of me, how much I loved her performance and how scary she was. If you have not seen a movie in a while that's really freaked you out quite a bit, take this movie, watch it this weekend, either with yourself, your wife, whatever, in the dark. Do not pull out your cell phone. Watch it from beginning to end, because there's a lot of stuff you could miss in the background or going around a corner really quick that you won't see if you're not paying attention to the entire movie. The Taking of Deborah Logan's ending will put a chill down your spine. You will see something that you've never seen before, number one. And number two, it's something that will be stuck with you the rest of your life. And every time, whether you like the movie or dislike it, when you hear that title, you will not forget about that particular moment. I love it. I think everything that could be great about it, whether it be the cast of documentary crew, bickering, fighting, whatever, over the tension building amongst themselves and amongst the family, which are, the daughter, Sarah, and her mom, Deborah Logan. All of that tension building just gets stronger and stronger throughout the film, and the movie's pacing is incredible. It flies by, and it is just so engaging. There's so much happening, so many great scares. It's not filled to the brim with jump scares and crap like that. It's actually extremely intricate about what it wants to do and how it does it, and I love that about this movie. Everything you could want out of it to be a masterful, amazing thing, it's perfect. It's perfect. This is one of the closest things to perfect as a horror film that I've ever seen in my life. And to be a low-budget indie that happens to be a found footage money, too, to even save some more money, everybody's giving it their all. The director, the writer, everybody. They're all giving their all, and I can't tell you enough how great this movie is. If you've not seen The Taking of Deborah Logan, I'm begging you this weekend to watch it. I dare you. It's usually on Tubi. It can be on Shudder. It's all over the place most of the time on Tubi. And again, this is something that will turn you into a found footage fan, despite there not being a bunch of found footage movies that are really good. There's like a handful that I could recommend off the top of my head, like The Visit, that I really love. But this is truly scary, like truly actually scary. And one of the best possession horror films ever made, one of the best films about just Alzheimer's, dementia, whatever, even though it's not completely dedicated to that. It's terrifying. It really gets under my skin every time I watch it. This is basically a yearly watch for me now. And the reputation it had built around it was something I only knew about because it happened to be discussed online. I watched it there, not in a video, but like on Reddit or Twitter or something I saw it recommended upon. And I watched it, and I've been in love with it ever since. It completely changed my opinion on what I want from horror and why I think found footage is so effective. It puts you in the action. And it's something that something like Hardcore Henry completely got, which is an action film, but still, Hardcore Henry was amazing because it put you in the midst of all of this crazy shit that was happening. This takes notes from that. Found footage in general usually takes notes from that when it's well made. And it does that. And that's what this movie does, and it deserves to be appreciated more. So a hidden horror that I recommended highly for you, the second one on the list at this current moment, is Taking of Deborah Logan. Please check it out. It's iconic, dude. It's one of the best horror films ever made. I cannot believe people don't talk about this more. Anyway, if I had to rate The Taking of Deborah Logan on a 5-star basis, easily, without a doubt, I have no criticisms about it. It would be a 5 out of 5 stars for me. I think it is perfect as it is, basically. If you have not seen it, you must. I'm begging you. Please. And if you take my advice and you watch it tonight or this weekend, please, for the love of God, leave a comment and let me know so that you can encourage other people to check it out too. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Have a great weekend, and goodbye.